A little, but I honestly, in fact, I even told our staff, not the players, I told the staff beforehand, don't be surprised if we're down 12-2 to start out. Just because, first of all, Hampton, I knew they're really quick and aggressive. Second of all, they haven't played in a long time, and they're playing a ranked opponent. I knew they were going to be completely jacked up to play, and you could feel that in the first dribble. I could feel it in the first dribble, and we're ready to play, but body-wise, we played last night, and in a conference tournament, both of you played last night, so you're both kind of getting that, getting your juices flowing, and we were trying. In fact, a lot of the shots that went in were actually guarded. They hit a lot of guarded threes early on. They were just hot, and they were determined. So I wasn't overly worried, but I'm not going to act like I knew that the outcome was what we were getting ready to see. But I really did. I really enjoyed the game because it was a real challenge. It was a real challenge for a lot of reasons. Just felt like a complete uphill battle the first half, and each and every time out, we just kept saying, look, they're not going to hit all those shots, and the guys agreed. And we got to be just a little bit more solid. They'll start to miss. And I even suggested a zone once or twice to try to get them just out of rhythm, and our guys were not going to have that. They did not. We are not doing that, which I love. That's their competitive nature, and that's why I love this game, because if you'd have been inside the huddle, just feeling what they were trying to get across to me, I just kept gaining confidence more and more as the game went along, regardless of what the score was. And we even said it was like, this is college basketball. You fight your way. It's things are tough, and this is when it's satisfying. So shocked at the outcome. I've got respect for that team. I'm sure you do too. Watching them for a good while, they're very quick. They're aggressive. They got a lot of weapons and did a lot of good things. But I cannot say enough good things about our guys tonight. I mean, that was an amazing second half, just an amazing second half. And I know I'm a broken record, but our rebounding is like nothing I've ever experienced in all the years, which are many, that I have had the good fortune of coaching college basketball. We're putting up, video game numbers. It's crazy, and that's tenacity, and that's want to, and that's fight. And how do you not love that? And at the same time, we're a team that just every night you look up and we got 20-some, 25, 26 assists on 39 baskets. I mean, that's hard to do. I mean, some baskets just aren't going to be assisted. They're just not. And so, for the 9 games, for me, they have been a complete joy of a team to coach. And I appreciate them so much. At the same time, Coach Brown's sentence, as I want to call it, is over. Not that anyone cares what I think, but I thought the punishment was a little harsh for the crime. And I know it was a difficult period for him. I can't imagine. Sometimes, you go out recruiting for 2 days and you come back and you feel a little bit, takes you a little bit of time to feel like you're acclimated with your team. I can't imagine 33 days. And keeping in mind, not a one of us had a phone call, a text, an email, you name it, with him. So, an odd feeling. So we got to see him after the game, which was great. And, you miss that friendship. And so he is back, and then that's a great thing. Well, he was very good, but I think I know kind of what he's feeling. I think it's not totally easy for him to be gone that long, but I also think it'll come back. The feeling of just normalcy will come back very quickly for him. Lord knows he's got lots of experience, so he knows how to get to there quickly. But just from a personal standpoint, it was just. I feel it was good to see him because it felt so wrong not to see him or talk to him for that long of a time. Very unnatural. It's very, 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 very unnatural just not to have contact with somebody intentionally, if that's the right word. And so now, the world seems a little bit more round.
When you two get
Well, the first thing I'm going to tell him is I really appreciate the fact that I'm going to get a lot more sleep in the next week. I'm so appreciative of that. And, but I don't know that I'll really talk about, I think we're better at this or worse at this. I don't think he's obviously been watching. That was maybe the one thing that he was allowed to actually watch TV. I don't think they sequestered him from a television set. So I think he's been watching. I know he's been watching. So he'll have a feel for that. But there are a lot of internal things that we need to talk about that, they just go on in basketball in a given day or a given week, let alone a given 33-day period. So there's going to be a lot to talk about, and we already said that, and I look forward to trying to, get him caught up so he feels like he's, on par with everything. But I really don't think that will take very long. It's not like it's that complex. It's just, remembering to tell him a lot of the things that have gone on, a lot of the things that are taking place.
Did he address the team in the locker room after?
Yes. Which was great.
Given the importance of the regular season for this team, how much pressure did you feel to hand over a 9-0 record?
I don't know that I'm just wired to where I don't care what team I would ever be coaching or what the circumstance. I always feel that same exact pressure. I feel the pressure 10 times more than whatever the outside pressure ever is. So there could be 1,000,000 pounds of pressure coming at me from the outside, and it's just short of what I always put on myself on the inside. So honestly, it really, for me, was not that was not different than any other situation. But my motivation, and I've told you guys this before, I was motivated in a different way because I felt bad for a lot of people. I felt bad for Coach. I felt bad for our players. I feel bad for our school. We have a great school. I feel bad for our school. I feel bad for a lot of people that are affected by this. And so, I gave it a lot of thought, and I thought, what can I do? And my motivation, not pressure, but my motivation was maybe even stronger than normal to try to turn what is, a very difficult situation for a lot of people into a positive. And the only way I felt like we could do that is to do something very special. And we have a long way to go to do that, but that was what was motivating me each and every day. I can promise you that.
Do you feel any sympathy for him having to fill the shoes of a coach with a perfect record?
No, I don't feel sympathy. Coach Brown has had plenty of success over the course of his coaching lifetime. So I don't think he's too probably worried about this situation. But he's done so much and many things over the years, and I think this hopefully will just be a blip. And I do think I hope he does. I hope he just feels comfortable and back to normal very quickly, and that's what I would expect. We're that's just my feeling. I hope that's the case. I hope it's the case with the players. It's not like they don't know him and he's coming back. They've been coached by him for a good while, and now, of course, for a little over a month, they've not heard his voice. But I don't think it'll be that big a transition. I hope I'm right about that for everyone's sake. So he's a perfectionist as opposed to me, who like anything goes. Is that what you're saying? So I don't know. I think all coaches, if you're a coach, you try to be, you try. I mean, if you're not, I don't even know why you're coaching. I mean, you actually are trying to get your team to a perfect level, which is always impossible, which is why every coach is always going like this, because it really is an impossible challenge. But if you're not attempting the challenge, then I don't know that your heart is fully into what you're really doing. So I don't know that that's any different, but well, I'm sure we'll have some fun where it's like, you didn't even take care of this. I'm sure I'm going to hear that, and I'll just laugh, and he'll say it, and he'll say it kiddingly. I'm sure he was already giving me a hard time about after the Michigan game. This jerk gave him a couple days off after that, so stuff like that, and it really makes me laugh. But we have a very good relationship, and I think it'll go smoothly.
What are the keys of Marcus post playing? Was that a tough decision at all tonight?
They hadn't practiced, period. Neither one had practiced. If you can imagine, you guys even remember the Michigan game? That was like a month and a half ago, it feels like, right? I mean, that was a long time ago that we played Michigan. And keep in mind, neither one of them have practiced one single time since then. And then we had some other guys out with either an illness or in finals. I was hoping this week we would make a little bit more strides. I mean, our team is obviously in good shape. We're playing very well in a lot of areas, but still, there's some more things that I was hoping maybe either to put in or to maybe spend a little bit more time with and improve upon. And I still think we had a good week, but I was hoping for maybe a great weekend. Our numbers just didn't allow. We had a very limited group that we could practice with, and a lot of times we couldn't even go 5-on-5. So we were kind of jerry-rigging that, and we'd go 5-on-0 to try to get efficiency on offense, and then we'd play a lot of defense with less than that. But all in all, it's fine. I hope they're back soon. I hope it's neither are serious, and you can tell obviously we could desperately use them. I can tell you, I've coached 8 people before in my lifetime as a head coach. I've looked down a bench and seen 3 guys sitting down there, but I can honestly tell you I've never seen 2 till now, where you look down and you literally have 2 guys. And if you happen to have already subbed one who's at the bench and you look down and there's 1, and then it's really crazy when you've subbed them both and you look down, then there's no one on your bench. Okay, there's 2 at the table and no one on your bench. Don't recommend that for a whole year. So we kind of dodged some bullets there, partly because our guys just were so determined to do well regardless of the situation. And again, that's another thing I really like about this team. They're not excuse makers. They don't feel sorry for themselves. If you challenge them, they like that, and we challenged them a number of times.
Last night you compared Jordan Tolbert's 23 rebounds to a video game. How would you describe his ability to come back less than 24 hours later and get another 19?
Well, I told him after the game, anybody can get 19 rebounds. How come you can't get 20 rebounds? Everybody can get 19. I think it's crazy. I have been around a lot of, been lucky. I've been around a lot of great players, college players, and I've been lucky enough to coach some guys that have had 20 rebound nights, but not the numbers that he's putting up right now. I don't recall ever coaching anyone these are just crazy numbers, and our team our team as a group are putting up just numbers I've not seen, and I hope it continues. But again, it's effort. But gosh, Jordan is I want to say he's up to 3rd in the country now in offensive rebounding efficiency, and we keep joking with him. How could there be 2 guys ahead of you? But amazing, really. We're seeing something that you don't see very often, and now you almost feel like you can count on it. I mean, it's getting crazy, but hats off to him. He's working so hard, and of course with Marcus out, he's playing major minutes, and I won't let him come out of the game hardly, even when he's begging out. And no, just get another rebound. So, and he's responded to that.
Was the decision to redshirt Shady?
Yes.
It's official.
At least as of this moment, talking to you, that yes, he. Unless something would change, but he could have played tonight, and I, did not play him. So obviously that's our.
He's on board with it.
Yes, in fact, he wanted to. I mean, it really was not. It's really more driven by. We try to always, those are big decisions, and so we try to make sure that the player either makes it or has an awful lot of say in the decision, and he and his family felt like it was the best thing. And you know, in a lot of ways, I'm in total agreement. If you're thinking long term, if you're thinking short term right now, and if you were coaching that game and you had 7 guys, you'd be like, boy, that would have been nice to have Shimmy. But at the same time, hopefully we're going to get everybody else healthy, and you know, we can play with that rotation. If we're lucky enough guys stay healthy, then, you know, we're going to have them for 2 more years, and that's, you know, that's great. So that was really something that he wanted to do. He's been talking about, his family's on board, and some people he trusts are on board with that as well.
So you expect Fairfield to be with you next week and also?
He's sick. He had a fever, a little bit better today, but I think it's an upper respiratory, so I don't know how long that's going to take, and we'll see what takes place there.
Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.